Today's episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast is brought to you by AOS Outdoor Kitchens. They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast. We are lucky enough today to be able to introduce to you Kate O'Driscoll. You can find her on Instagram. She's a fantastic barbecuer, cook, barista even, and have a look at her Instagram account. I would say it's worth doing that before you listen to what you're about to hear. Without much further ado, here's Kate. Hi, Kate. Thank you so much for joining us today. For anyone who doesn't know, please do introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name's Kate O'Driscoll and Kate O'Driscoll Food Beer Life on Instagram. I'm basically a backyard barbecue person and I live in Ireland. I've lived here for about verging on 20 years now. I moved over with my job and I never left. And I've been kind of barbecuing for about the last 5 years and loving the journey.
Amazing. So how did that start for you? Considering your following on Instagram and the cooks you're producing, 5 years doesn't feel like that long. So how did you get into it?
Yeah, well, I've been on Instagram since about 2016 and I just started documenting sort of everyday food and life. And I've always been into craft beer as well, so it was the beer thing as well. But the barbecue side of things is fairly recent. And it was pretty much the most ironic way you could possibly imagine getting into cooking with fire, because we had a house fire. Well, not a house fire, more a garden fire. So
that's a start to
February 2000. There's always a story behind everything. February 21, kind of just on the verge, just leaving kind of lockdown and all of that kind of COVID kind of stuff. My husband was still working from home and he'd had the fire on all day in the house. And we always put the ashes out into the shed, which was about a metre away from the side of the house. And he'd been putting ashes out there. We've been putting ashes out there for the last 16 years, but we never thought anything of it. Metal bucket, nice lid, whatever. And later on that night, we were forecast snow, and he looked out the window because he heard some kind of crackling and opened the curtains and just went, holy. And I just oh my God, it's snow, we've got to wait out. So I opened the other side of the curtains and went, holy. And the whole garden was on fire. The shed was just up like a tinderbox. It was just so incredibly scary. 30-foot flames and fire brigade, blah, blah, blah. Whole garden was burnt out. The shed obviously gone and everything in it. The side of our house pretty much copped a lot of it. But only for the wind going in the direction it was, the house was saved. And long story short, my little $22.99 trolley barbecue from Lidl perished in the fire. And with the insurance money, thank goodness, my husband said, let's get one of those fancy egg-shaped barbecues from Japan. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, it'd be really cool. Let's get one of those egg-shaped barbecues. And I was like, what? I mean, what do you mean egg-shaped barbecues? They're called a Kamado or something. I was like, never heard of it. Don't want anything to do with it. If you want to spend nearly €1,000 on something that's never going to get used, maybe once in June, once in August, on the nice day, and you want to do that, that's on you. I'm not having anything to do with this thing. So the thing arrived, and it was just an unbranded Kamado, and we just set it up. Well, he set it up because I wasn't having anything to do with the thing, and I looked at it for a couple of days, looking a bit lonely. So I thought, right, I may light it up and give it a go. So basically, long story short, lit it up, and I've been out in the garden for the last 5 years. And my barbecue collection has grown considerably. And it's a journey. I'm loving it. Yeah.
So, that is a hell of a story to kick off the episode for sure. I was almost expecting you to say, while there was 30-foot flames, we just grabbed a couple of skewers, stuck a steak on, and
make some s'mores.
Yeah, exactly. So where are you now with your collection? I'm always interested to know what collection people have and
Well, do you
how
know,
run
the
deep it goes.
collection is kind of as you probably know, it's a never-ending kind of thing. It's like I got the unbranded Kamado, which was fantastic. Loved it. And it served me well for about 4 years before. I'm quite heavy-handed, and this thing didn't have what they call like not hyaluronic, but they called them
Hydraulic
things.
hydraulic, sorry, hydraulic hinges. So I was like slamming it down every time I was using it, and little cracks started to appear, little bits started to fall off. The kind of gasket went, and I was like, oh, okay, right, I'm really going to have to try and like think about what I'm going to do next. And I thought, I'm loving this so much, I'm going to have to invest in something a little bit better. So I basically saved up for a Kamado Joe, and I thought, look, it's the end. It was this time last year, and all the sales were on, and I was like, go big or go home. I'm going for a Kamado Big Joe. And so I got one of them, and I absolutely love it. It's my pride and joy. It's probably like my soulmate. I do love that thing. And so, but along the way, before that, I had invested in a obviously a Weber 57, got to be done. Just off
Classic.
like a selling site, one of the Irish selling sites, and love that as well. A few others along the way. I got a Smoky Joe for camping and the little go anywhere, because who doesn't need to go anywhere in their life? Glowing pizza oven, and I procured a little 1991 Weber, little blue Weber, a little bit rusty, but I kind of repaired that. And he's on the go now as well for like small cooks. But I have to say I do most things on the Big Joe. So that's where I'm at. But I want to get a Blackstone. That's next to my hit list. It's a Blackstone or a Traeger Ranger.
Nice. So we've both got a Blackstone.
Yes.
Dan was lucky enough to get one from Blackstone.
Wow.
I had to put my hand in my pocket. But Dan managed to get the one with the air fryer, although I don't believe you've used the air fryer yet. Dan, have you?
No, because of where my setup is, and I'm very lazy. I don't have an outdoor plug near it for the air fryer to go in, and I like using the flat top so much. And and honestly, not everyone will feel this way, but if I'm already outside barbecuing, I'm more like, if I want to do something that an air fryer would normally do, I'm going to do it on my Kamado anyway.
Yeah,
I'm not.
exactly.
The only thing that I am tempted to try it for is like, if the kids want chips or something, I'm just like, are they
Easy.
that much faster? Are they that much easier?
Yeah.
It's just nice to be outside cooking.
Exactly.
But I've had it for almost a year now, and I still haven't plugged it in. Do you
Really?
know?
Okay.
Whereas like the flat top, I use it often. We use it for pancakes on the weekends. It's great. Quite often now, if I've got friends over, if I'm doing something low and slow on the Kamado, or I've done beef ribs or pulled pork or something, I've taken that out and I'm doing something else on there, like chicken, then I'll use that for burgers, sausages, or if I'm reverse searing a steak or something, I'll use it to get like proper flat Maillard effect on there and the crust.
Yeah, nice bit of crust.
Yeah, exactly. But and you've been a bit more like adventurous. You do like, well, I say adventurous. Fears aren't adventurous in the land of cooking, as it were, but like outside, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I thoroughly recommend you get one. I think just for that kind of, I suppose it just stops you doing frying anything, right? There's no need to like fry anything indoors anymore.
No,
like,
there isn't.
That's exactly what the Blackstone will do.
No, I actually use a flat kind of grill every day in work. I'm a full-time kind of cook, barista and baker in a local coffee bar and bistro. So I actually use a flat top grill like every single day, and I'm like, oh God, I wish I could bring this home. So I do need one in my life, and I don't think it's going to be very long now.
No, I think they're really reasonably priced as well.
They actually are.
I've got the 28-inch with the hood. I didn't go for the 36 in the end, but I think that's for a family of four, for that absolutely suits us.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can get a full English on it.
That's brilliant. And pancakes as well, and all of the rest of it.
Yeah.
And older children, younger children, what kind of ages of your children are we talking sort of feeding?
Yeah, one's a teenager, and one's not far off a teenager.
Well, that's
So
perfect because I have
yeah,
13 and 11, so that sounds about right for me.
that's same as me, 13 and
Yeah,
11. So
great.
you can quite comfortably do that on a 28.
Oh,
Um,
brilliant.
but actually, most interestingly enough, we spoke with Blackstone and Corbin, who's kind of come over from America, and he's like the European salesperson, marketing brand ambassador. I don't know what
Marketing guy, yeah.
best title, but he was actually saying, and then he did it at Sizzlefest last year about cooking pasta on the Blackstone.
I think I was talking to him at Sizzlefest last year.
Yes, yeah, and he did a sample of it where it was like like tortellini, and then you kind of spritz a bit of water and tomatoes,
Yeah,
spinach, and garlic, and with a bit of pesto. And I tell you what, it works really,
amazing.
really well. Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
I think if you use a flat top, you would love having that flat top at home. I think with the Blackstone.
Oh, I so would.
So what else is on your hit list apart from Blackstone? Because again, it must be like myself. It's always never ending. There's always something else that you want.
Yeah. See, with me, it's like I see something and then I want it for a while, and then I look at it, and then I ask a lot of questions, and I talk to guys on Instagram and look at them. And the only thing I don't really want is a Traeger, like a big old Traeger, because I think I don't want to say it's cheating, and I'm going to offend a
No,
lot of
we
people.
do all the time. It's. I think I don't have one. Owen has one
Yeah,
of the easy bake ovens, as we like to call them. But
I
I
don't.
think
I've sold it. I've
oh,
sold
you
it.
sold it. There you go, ka-ching. But it's. I can understand why people like it because for
yeah, I can. It's completely,
consistency.
it's nothing that can
Yeah,
go wrong.
yeah,
You
but
know,
it's not what I'm looking for when I'm cooking outside. If I'm cooking outside,
same.
I want to be burning stuff. I want to
What
be
I would
setting
really
fires
like,
to stuff.
yeah, I want after I did Big Grill Festival a few weeks ago, and I'd really love something like a tagwood, like a Santa Maria,
Mm-hmm.
like just proper over wood charcoal, just open fire rather than enclosed, because I've not really cooked like that. Apart from sort of when you're kind of first get into barbecue, when you're I guess you see your parents do it when you're young, and they're they're burning the sausages, the insides are raw, and they're like cremating some burgers and a bit of chicken on like an open kind of grill.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of only kind of live kind of fire you really experience until you kind of get into barbecue, I suppose. So yeah, I'd love something like a Santa Maria, so level, so you could control the heat from a level kind of perspective, than just have an offset area and a non-offset area.
So, we're very aligned, Kate. I have just purchased a Somerset grill, asado grill.
No way.
Literally what 3 months?
Yeah, it was about 3 months ago.
So I sold the Traeger, and the money that I got back from the Traeger, so I had the Ironwood 885, the fairly larger one before the Timberlines and stuff came out.
Yeah.
And then I've put that into a Somerset grill, and it's so much fun.
I'd say it's brilliant crack.
Yeah, to the point where, like, again, sort of saying it's a bit easy and cheating. Like when we sort of tease, we sort of did a lot of teasing around. Well, you say that about gas, right? It's grilling outdoors. It's not barbecue. Obviously, we're having a bit of a joke about it. Yeah, exactly. But what I've actually found now is when I use something like my Weber, because there isn't the fire and the flames and all. There's not as much theatre. I'm almost a bit like, I've just put it in the chimney. I've tipped the charcoal in. But it's interesting, kind of the more you get into it, the different styles that you get used to, how it then changes your perception of other things, other areas.
Yeah. So no, I want to try new things, and I want to kind of explore a different route, because I'm so used to using a Kamado now as that, and that's because that's what I kind of basically learned on. Smoking and barbecuing in general, just in a Kamado, and then kind of smaller versions of it, kind of an enclosed space with charcoal and either off or on set. So yeah, I want to really kind of go down another route now and try a bit more kind of live fire cooking over sort of open fires.
Well, you were saying about potentially going in for a Traeger Ranger.
Yes.
I suppose for the portability of it, right?
Yeah.
Somerset Grills have just launched a Somerset Asado Go. So it's a mini version.
Oh,
But
wow.
it's about £800. So that's probably
Okay.
what, about €1,100, something like
I
that.
would say so, yeah.
But it's, I think, from a size perspective, it's fairly similar to the size of a Traeger Ranger. But
Right.
you get, you have the crank and you up and down the level, and it's wood fired. But it's
Very
just
good.
a camping version, so it might be worth having a look into that. So you get the best of both worlds.
Definitely will be saving my tip jar money for something like that for sure. Might take a while, but I might get there in the end.
So, just out of interest, I'm going to skip ahead somewhat now. In that you mentioned, obviously, you were at the festival a couple of weeks ago, and I think obviously we've been following you for a while, and it seems that you've been doing a fair amount around kind of demoing and kind of being at festivals. How do you go from 5 years ago starting on a Kamado to now
I
being
mean,
part of the circuit, I suppose?
yeah, don't ask me. It's mind blowing to me. I'm like, I have the worst amount of like imposter syndrome when I go to these things. Like, Sizzle Fest was bad enough. I was like, why does anyone want to come and see me cook? Like, the big grill was even worse. I was just like, why the fuck do people want to come and see me do what I do? I'm like a backyard ma'am. I'm like at home with like the kids doing their homework while I'm out there in the barbecue shack. And like, it's like, but I think, again, that's why it's kind of relatable. It's like,
That's
girls
exactly what I was going to
barbecue.
say. Having a look at your Instagram, just and scrolling through it, what you're cooking, there's huge variety in there, but you can tell there's a
Yeah.
lot of skill gone into it and a lot of love. The photography and colors are fantastic. And I think if people feel that they can see someone replicate that and show them how, but with that back garden feel to it and
Exactly.
authenticity to
Yeah,
it, it's a bit different than
exactly.
when like a chef goes on stage and
Like,
talks
I'm
about
not a
it.
chef. I would never call myself a chef. At work, I'm a cook. I cook. At home, I'm a cook. At work, I'm a cook. I've no formal training. It's just I do it out of pure love and the joy of cooking over fire in the outdoors. And it's just it gets in your soul. Do you know what I mean? And then the food that you cook, and then it just brings people together. And then having your kids just go, oh my god, that's amazing. And just like other people, and it just brings you so much kind of love and joy and passion. It just all goes into it. And I think everybody who cooks over fire for fun just has that feeling as well. So when everyone gets together, it's like complete geekdom. It's like it's brilliant. And yeah, I love it. I just really love it.
And
And
do you
I think
find
people can relate to that kind of vibe of just like the joy that brings people.
Yeah. And do you find that across, you sort of saying about when people come together and there's a genuine love for it, like you said, a bit of like a geekdom. Obviously, something like Sizzle Fest was very much set up for just getting all of the Instagram people after COVID together just
Yeah.
for a big
Meet up.
session on talking about, and just talk about barbecue. And I
Yeah.
appreciate it's kind of grown and diversified, and there's, new people coming into that. But do you find that in all of the kind of shows, like, for example, the festival you went to recently,
Yeah.
do you still find that there is that geekdom, the real passion for people that come to see you and want to talk about barbecue and the technique and the love? And do you even get that
There
on the
is.
bigger festivals as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was only on one of the smaller stages, like say your main stage at like Glastonbury, and I was on one of the little tents. Do you know what I mean? I was like off to the side, but even at that, I was like mind blown to be there. And the people just make it. It's the people asking the questions. It's the people that want knowledge. It's the people that come along and want to know more. And some of them, aren't necessarily into barbecue. They'd come with someone who is. And then they go away going, oh, that's what I'm going to do. And, I can do this too. It's brilliant. It's
Yeah.
the kind of knowledge you can impart to other people and get them involved and like passionate about cooking over fire and in the outdoors and everything like that. And supporting your local butchers as well. Like a lot of people like, oh, where do you buy your meat? And I'm like, well, my local butcher, because I want to support local. I want to support my local butcher. You're going to be the first one that whinges when he closes down in 2 years because he's not had the support from local people because you've all gone off to your German supermarket and got the cheap shit. And it's all about like finding what works for you and making it kind of great, I suppose.
Looking at it from a slightly different angle, How do you find the presenting side of it? And more from an interesting point of view for me, the first one you did, how did you feel in the run up to that, and how did you deal with it? Because it's very different cooking something, even at a festival where people can just walk up and talk to you, compared to almost doing a session on a stage.
Okay,
how does that feel?
Completely honest with you, terrifying. I was terrified. Like I said before, complete imposter syndrome. So on the Friday of the Friday night on Scissors Fest, I got absolutely wasted.
Yes, Kate, that's what we want to hear.
I had been out. Well, we arrived into Southampton at probably we got to Scissors Fest about 9:30 in the morning when it was all the setup was going on. I very briefly dumped my bags because I brought a couple of the girls over with me for like emotional support. A couple of my best friends. We met up with John Rallahan, and he was like, let's go and get something to eat. And so we ended up like in this little barbecue place in Southampton, like drinking spicy margaritas and pickleback shots.
Nice.
Before the day had even really begun. And then obviously the Friday night party, hammered. And then, I did my demonstration absolutely hanging. And it was cool. It was fine. I kind of got it together and I did it, but it was terrifying actually, like cooking in front of so many people, because again, like the imposter syndrome set in, and I was like, why do they want to come see me cooking chicken wings? This is ridiculous, like why am I here? And like, I don't know, I need to get over that. I probably need to go to therapy or something. It's
everyone has it, right? Everyone has it. All walks of life, all jobs. The dirty secret that no one wants to talk about is that no one knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
And normally, if someone thinks they know what they're doing, they're an arse, right? Those are the two things, right?
I went straight on stage and I said, look, I'm going to apologise now. I'm hungover to fuck and I'm going to get through this as best I can. I'm cooking you some chicken wings today and a raspberry jalapeno blondie with the leftover sauce, obviously that haven't touched the wings. And, this is what we're doing and you're here to see it and this is what we're doing. So we'll get on with it now and get it over and done with. But I forgot to actually... in my kind of haste to get things prepped, I forgot to soften the butter. So I spent about 20 minutes trying to get the butter soft for the blondies, but that's another story. They were done about 2 hours after my demonstration finished, and everyone got a bit of it then.
They got there. That's the main thing.
Exactly. We got there in the end, slowly but surely, torts in the hairstyle.
But I don't, I think it's probably, I think it's legitimate to feel that way. The first time you do anything, it's obviously very nerve-wracking, But like me and Dan, we started this in 2021. We're nearly 90 episodes in. We still don't really know what we're doing. We literally wing every single episode and just hope it comes out all right. So but it does just feel a bit easier the more and more you do it, right? It's like, like anything. But what I think is very good about the type of community and the people that are interested in barbecue is it's a very supportive atmosphere, isn't it?
It really is.
Even though, you may feel that, why are people wanting to come and see me cook wings? Everyone cooks wings, but actually it's just about the experience, isn't it? And it's about seeing other people.
Really is.
How do they do it?
What? Going back to what you just said there, it is such a lovely, like, supportive community. And I just felt the love when I was doing my demos there a few weeks ago. And like everyone loved it, and I kind of had to tailor myself to the audience because I was doing like demos over the 4 days of the big grill, but they were all at different times. So the first one I did, I was kind of really kind of apprehensive, nervous, and I kind of found my flow by the end. And then the next one, I was a little bit better. The next one, it was kind of 8:30 at night, so everyone was well oiled, and we had great crack with the crowd and everything. And like by the last one, I kind of wish I could have kept the momentum going after that, but sadly it ended. But I was just about finding my feet. You kind of have to get into it. But the crowds were brilliant. There was no bad vibes at all. It was just all good. So it was lovely. It was really, really nice. And people just want to kind of, learn about what you're doing and then actually taste the food. So that's the best thing. You just don't tempt them with the free food and they're there.
And is that something that you kind of want to get into more? I appreciate we're coming towards the end of barbecue season, inverted brackets. Not for most of us, obviously 365 cookers, but in terms of the festivals and stuff, they're now starting to kind of wind up, don't they? But is that something that you very much want to kind of continue into next year as well and do more of?
Absolutely, it's great fun. It's lovely, and it's really nice to share the knowledge. And it's good for me to get the experience of like talking in front of people and actually doing things in front of people, getting over my fears. Obviously, not having any kind of technical training or anything in like being a chef, and it's like it's hard to kind of chop and talk at the same time. So I tend to do a lot of prep, like not in front of the audience in case they get like a finger in whatever I'm doing, which wouldn't be ideal.
No.
But yeah, no, the more experience the better. I'll take it all on, you know what I mean? I'll say yes to everything. I'm a bit of a yes man at the moment. I'm just like yes, I'll do everything. And it's just, for me, it's about talking to everybody else that's there as well and getting the knowledge. Like I was sort of chatting away to people who like I've kind of idolized for a good while, you know, like Hunter Gather Chef, for example. What a dude. I mean, he's just amazing. Like these kind of chefs I've only kind of seen, you know, like online. I was just like mind blown, like to be sharing a kind of stage with these guys. And I was really humbled, to be honest with you. Absolutely humbled to be there and get chatting to these people and like, you know, take on some of their like perspective and their knowledge and see how they do it. And it's just lovely to be in that environment with people that share the same kind of philosophies, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you think your everyday work helps with that? Because you're talking to so many different people, you're serving different people all the time. Do you think you've not even in a negative way fall back into that guise when you're first getting into it? Because it's a different mindset, right, from being in the garden barbecuing, as it were, and doing it for other people.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I work in a kind of busy kind of bistro coffee shop, and everybody, we have our locals obviously that come in and our regulars all the time, but we also have different people, and people just tend to stay and chat, and you know, they ask about the food. And I'm a gluten-free baker, so I bake all the gluten-free goodies for our place, and I have a lot of customers who ask about that aspect of things. And yeah, it does prepare you. It's really nice, and just to have that kind of connection with people all the time, and then you can bring that to a festival and kind of apply the same kind of ethos, you know, it's great. But I've always kind of had that kind of background in retail. Like when I moved to Ireland, I actually worked down in Canterbury for 5 years. Well, before that I was at uni there, but then I was a manager for Le Creuset, you know, the heavy French pots and pans, and they happened to mention that I did a bit of buying for them and stuff, and they mentioned that they were opening a store in Kildare and one in Scotland, and I kind of just went, oh, I'd love to run my own outlet store in Kildare or somewhere, or, you know, Ireland. Never been to Ireland in my life. And then at the next managers meeting, they said, you're off to Ireland to open this store. And I was like, okay, right. So I had 12 weeks to pack up my life in England and move to Ireland, which I did. And that's why I'm here. So I've always had that kind of retail background and talking to people and imparting the knowledge of stuff. And I've always been passionate about like cookware and cooking in general. So it's always been a big kind of tapestry of my life, I suppose. So, yeah.
If you've been looking or thinking about an outdoor kitchen, then look no further than AOS Outdoor Kitchens.
They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.
Their extensive showroom is based just outside Bournemouth on the Dorset-Hampshire border, and as well as numerous in-store displays, also features a live outdoor kitchen where they cook every week on Kamado grills, pizza ovens, and all filmed and shown on YouTube.
They offer a wealth of knowledge on how to transform your patio into the most incredible outdoor dining area with styles and options to suit every budget. And you can guarantee they will be able to create something perfectly suited to you and your home.
They stock and supply everything that you're going to need for outdoor cooking, including barbecues, Kamado ovens, pizza ovens, outdoor fridges, and every accessory that you would need to become the ultimate outdoor chef.
So if you want to make yourself the envy of your friends and neighbours, get in touch with them today to arrange a consultation and take the first step in transforming your back garden into the most incredible entertainment space.
Visit aoskitchens.co.uk. And obviously Dan mentioned, and we can clearly see on the just the variation of cooks that you do, and that you post on your page. Is there anything that you always keep falling back to? You know, what's that kind of one thing that you just love to cook on the barbecue?
Oh God, one thing I really love to cook. There's so many things.
All of the things.
I like, yeah. My son just said it over there from the corner. He whispered at me, brisket. And I'm like, yeah, brisket is a kind of love-hate affair for me. I want to nail the brisket, but obviously it's really, really difficult, as you know, in like the UK and Ireland to get a really good brisket because it's a completely different beast to like, say, the big kind of American pack of briskets that you get. It's lean, it's, you know, so you've obviously got to treat it in a much different way. So I think I've managed one or two which have been really good, but I really want to kind of get that down and into my kind of repertoire of things that don't go wrong, you know?
Yeah.
But tell you what, the one thing is I always come back to picanha. Always. Love it.
Oh, I saw one
My
of your,
favourite.
when I was looking at you, obviously just to refresh myself before we came on and looked at your profile, there was a bit of picanha that you did and it looked divine. Just,
Thank
I've
you.
not done picanha in such a long time.
Get to the butcher.
Yeah.
Going back to brisket, my view on brisket is I like doing that for people because that's what people want, particularly if they're
Yeah.
not barbecuers.
Absolutely.
And I mean, air miles isn't great for it, but if I'm cooking for other people, not always. The last two times I haven't, but I quite often find buying some imported meat because of you also don't want to mess it up if you're spending like
Absolutely.
8,
100%.
10, 12 hours cooking it,
Yeah.
particularly if it's grass fed and you've got to be that much more careful with what you're doing and coaxing it along and everything, you know. But when I'm cooking for myself, I will stand on this hill. I think beef ribs are better than brisket.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I completely agree with you.
Like they're easier to cook. I think there's more flavor with it on the bone. You can
100%.
do stuff with the bone. They're more dramatic when you're
Yes.
serving them, depending on what you want to do. Whether you're cutting up and serving them as these big dinosaur bones, or if in front of people you're just twisting them and pulling the bones out in one
Yeah.
go. Far more fun. But I get
You
why
know
people
what?
fall back
Me
to
and you are going to
brisket.
die on that hill together.
I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
But this sounds random. One of my favorite things to cook on a barbecue, and I only tend to do it in the run up to Christmas. Don't ask me why. I should do it more. I love doing like smoked Scotch eggs, big
Lovely.
Scotch eggs, like
I haven't done them in so long. Yeah.
using the turkey meat around Christmas,
Lovely.
with mixing some cranberry sauce and bits in there, a little bit of
Lush.
whiskey too. But and they're fun
Boom.
to do, you know, really
Yeah.
fun.
I love doing things like that. And my kids love it when I do things like the dino eggs and things, you know,
Yeah.
and you wrap them in anything wrapped in bacon. I mean, obviously it's going to be fucking brilliant, but like, yeah, anything big and like juicy and with a surprise in the middle, you know, it's got to be good. Like a savory Kinder egg, you know.
So I'd love to just kind of switch it on from perhaps talking about some of the things you love to cook to our barbecue fails and perhaps even some of the things that you've loved to cook that may not have gone so well. Have you got any barbecue fail stories that you can share with us? Some of the things that may not have gone to plan.
Okay, well, one of my biggest barbecue fails recently was, in fact, a rump cap or picanha, which I forgot to mark the fat cap where across, like the grain where I should have been cutting, across the grain, and I cooked this beautiful piece of meat and sliced it the wrong way, and it was tough as old boots. Looked beautiful, absolutely. The meat was just nearly like shoe leather. It tasted beautiful. It tasted really nice. But the good thing was that obviously once it was on your plate, you could cut it your own way. But yeah, that was a heartbreaker for me because it was such a hard piece of meat to tell as well because the grain kind of was really hard to see. And I thought I'd just be able to wing it and like tell after it cooked like which way it was going to go. Turned it over to see which way the grain was running, and it was kind of like a crisscross. So I was like, oh no. So I just had to pick an area and like commit to it. And yeah, unfortunately it was the wrong point of the rump cap. So
I swear you've been reading my notes because I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
So it looked gorgeous for a start.
It did, but that's it. The pictures are deceiving. That's why I put it up there.
So what I do, because I'm awful at it, is I tend to do 1 or 2 slices and try.
Yeah.
And then if I know I've gone wrong, I'm like, okay, well, it might not look as good as I wanted it to, but I can now cut the other way. And
Yeah.
I mean, Owen and I did it once. We'd had a few drinks, but we cooked a brisket over at yours, O. And do you remember we'd split the brisket in 2, and then we'd cut up one part and we were like, why is this tough as hell? But it looked juicy. And then cut the other one up and we'd realised what we'd done.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that's just purely because of the amount of beers that we had and we weren't really paying attention to it.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's always a danger. That's always a danger.
It is always a danger. But for any people starting out,
Yeah.
what should they be looking for in that situation? Because you're right, some meats are far harder to tell which way they go than others.
I mean, it's difficult because a lot of people, like you, the thing you kind of hear is slice with the grain.
Mhm.
You know, is it? I don't know. Am I making that up? Or a lot of people told me when I was kind of younger, like slice with the grain, it's easier to cut and everything. But with barbecue cuts, it's pretty much the opposite. You know, it's slice against the grain, so you shorten the fibers, so the mouthfeel is, you know, tender.
And they pull, yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think do your research, like go online and don't be afraid to reach out to people like who have done it, and like your butcher, like ask him and ask people, like stalk people on Instagram. Like I have stalked so many people on Instagram, looked at their cooks, and then actually DM'd them, like, you know, let's talk about your meat. You know, like
you can get away with that when we do it.
Like, no, I shouldn't be able to get away with that. You know, it's like, but dude, like reach out to people who are getting good results and get the knowledge. Just, I always say, for me, like every single cook I do is a lesson. It's like a journey. It's like I will learn things, good or bad, from every cook and hope to get better from that point. I'm never going to be like a pitmaster. I would never dream of calling myself a grill master, like pitmaster. See all these like fellas, like, you know, the plaid shirts, the freaking beards, and the trucker hats. Like, oh my god, I'm a pitmaster. I've cooked a couple of sausages, and like now I can, like, now, you know. Like fair, there's a place for them, like all good, excellent. But I'm kind of representing girls who grill here, and like just get out there and enjoy it. You know, it's like, yeah, that's it. Just get the knowledge. Just ask people and get as much information as you can. And if you're not sure about something, ask, and then try it. And if it doesn't work, try it again. You know, that's how I kind of have learnt from the bottom up. You know.
We always say, if you're going to give us a barbecue fail, we will give you some back. So before I go into one I did recently,
okay,
have you had any recently, that you want to discuss or highlight?
Yeah, annoyingly, because it's cost me over £100 to fix it.
No.
So I've got a Broil King keg, which is a cast iron version of a Kamado. I've had it for absolute ages. I actually won it on Instagram in about 2020, I think it was, from SoCal.
Wow.
It's served me really well. And the other day, I got it's a cast iron grill as well. So I got it out, and we're talking from where the grill was to the grass. I literally dropped it, just, you know, kind of dropped it onto the grass, which I've done 100 times.
Yeah.
Broke completely in half. The whole grill split in half.
Oh god.
And to replace it cost me £115. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
sad.
wasn't best pleased with myself.
No. Oh, that is sad.
Yeah. So that's my fail.
Oh.
So mine, I put stories up, which people may have seen, as I did pulled pork and a brisket recently because I was cooking for 17 people. And by the time this goes out, people will see I'll put a post on it as well. When I was pulling the pork, because I had loads of people over, I was like, right, gloves on, I'll do it by hand.
Yeah.
I'd rested it for an hour and a half. Didn't have any cotton gloves, like they were in the wash. I was like, right, I'll just free ball it with these black gloves.
Yeah.
And I held it together during the ripping it apart with my hands, but I burnt the shit out of both my hands.
Oh god.
So, I think I'll probably put music over it, but my friend's filming it and he's commenting. I'm like, it's it's fucking hot. It's really, really,
Oh,
really
that's
hot.
off my hands.
I was like, I know this is being filmed. I don't want to stop it now. Just keep going.
How
Power
do you use your
through.
nails
But,
to like get in there, just take the pressure off your fingers? Oh God.
like 2 days later, I had like plasters all over my hands. I proper burnt myself, but did that classic pathetic man thing of, well, if there's people over,
Style it out.
here we go. Oh God. So yeah, I've never fancied the like bear claws you can get for doing it. But after that, I'm tempted to. I know you can use forks, but
I've got a spare pair you can have.
yeah, either that or just make sure I've got clean cotton gloves to put on underneath the black gloves. That's the other sensible thing to do.
Bit of heat protection. That's what's needed. Yeah.
That's giving me goosebumps just remembering how it was.
I think the only other fail I've had recently is now this is probably my own. Well, it's definitely my own fault. I've got a Gosney pizza. Oh, Gosney! I wish I had a Gosney pizza oven. I've got a glowing pizza oven, and it's a bit tricky to start. So I am trying to ignite it with the gas turned up quite high, and decide to kind of just look into the kind of area while I'm lighting it, and took off like an eyebrow and a couple of eyelashes while it just came out at me like that. So yeah, that was a pretty tricky one, but had to like fake the makeup till I made it with that. I haven't used it since. I might get back to it soon.
Yeah, if we had a pound, I think it's almost part of the course, isn't it, with barbecue? And if you had a pound for every time that you've singed your hairs or burnt the ends of your fingers, or there we are. So another thing that we like to do here on the podcast is our barbecue bingo.
Okay.
And when I say barbecue bingo, it's a really fancy wheel that we've definitely not done for free on the internet that's full of ingredients. So the challenge is, if you're up for it, Kate, is that there's a list of ingredients. I'm going to share my screen in a minute. We'd love to give it a spin. Whatever it lands on, we'd love for you to do a cook with that ingredient. Okay. And also for you to leave an ingredient for perhaps the next guest for it to land on. Okay. So hopefully you can see that, and you can see I said it's very high tech. Years worth of planning, this one.
Lovely.
I know, right? So we've got some. It's been a while since we've actually loaded this up, so we can't actually remember what's on there. But what we got: chocolate spread, scallops, rabbit,
lovely, yeah,
tripe, kangaroo.
Lovely. Kangaroo, interesting.
Yeah, chicken hearts and a few others there. But there's one on there called My Signature Dish, which is what would be your signature dish. So if it lands on that, we'd love for you to cook what you're best known for. Okay. So what would that be?
Gosh, that's difficult. Probably it would be picanha, to be honest with you. Other than that, just kind of wings. I just love cooking chicken wings on my little grill. So what else was the signature dish? Anything that's shoulder of pork. Yeah, shoulder of pork is always a good one. Like either not cook it to the pull point or cook it to the pull point, or just a good old ribeye.
Yeah,
I love a ribeye. I think sometimes.
So should we take your first answer of picanha?
Yeah,
why not? Take that one.
Okay, right. Let's give it a spin. See what it comes up with.
I think we're talking about ribeye as well while this is spinning. It's quite often easy to overcomplicate barbecuing, right? And try and do something special. And sometimes the most obvious ones are the best. But there's nothing wrong with paella either.
I love paella. Love paella.
I thought I saw mild fear there for a second. You got, no, I'm allergic to anything to do with rice or saffron.
No, I do. I love paella. Yeah. So I have to tell you now what I do with a paella on the barbecue, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've already got an idea, that would be great. But you can always go away and think about it, and we'd love you to post about it when you cook and tag us in. That would be great, and we'll tag it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, no, that's cool. I love paella. Yeah, awesome. So I'd probably do it over the top. So I'd do like chicken fillets, skinless, boneless thighs. smoke them, and then cook them down in the stock and the rice on the Kamado, probably a chunk of something quite mild, maybe an applewood, something like that. A nice homemade beer kind of stock, because I like cooking with craft beer, so that would go in there. And then a mix of seafoods, mussels, and prawns. And
What type of beer would you put in?
Jesus Christ, the cat's just crawled on top of me. Sorry.
No, that's what we like. We like real.
It just came out of nowhere. Yeah, and then add the meat back in once it was sort of simmering down and everything with all the veggies and all. Simmer the shellfish, the mussels at the end, close down, and boom. Yeah, all good.
What craft beer would you probably put with it?
Well,
A nice IPA?
my husband is actually a head brewer for a local brewery. So probably one of his, I would say, like a session IPA, something like that, a little bit hoppy, a little bit citrusy in there to complement the shellfish. So yeah.
I love craft beer. Tell me more about that. Tell me about being a master brewer, being married to one, and what brewery is it? What is his favourite things to do there?
Okay, so it is a farmhouse brewery in County Laois, which is about 25 minutes from here. It's a 13th generation family farm. The brewery is called Ballykilcavan, and they have a range of different beers, from a session IPA all the way to their kind of stout, and then they do specials called Clancy's Cans, which they bring out a can every few months, which is like a special, and then that kind of goes all around Ireland. And yeah, just a really nice small kind of family farm run brewery, which is great. So the brewery is actually in the old dairy, so milk and dairy. So it's all very. They do tours there, and they've just hosted a big camping event for. I don't know if you've heard of the Electric Picnic, which is a big festival here in Ireland. It would be something like a small version of Glastonbury, like Ireland's version of Glastonbury, I suppose. And they've got a walled garden there, and they have it filled with bell tents, and they open up the brewery for beers and food and everything. And
nice.
I think I might try and get in there and do a bit of barbecue next year if I can, if I've got some time.
Some ham hock.
Oh, you definitely should. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Be cool. But yeah, no, we have beer on tap like most of the time. We have a little in my barbecue shack. It's actually a little home bar as well. Sort of right, here's the story with the barbecue shack. I do have one, and when I bought Big Joe, I did that Mr. Bean thing of like measuring it like this, and like it arrived in this like massive fuck off pallet onto the drive, and my husband said, "That's never going to fit in the barbecue shack." I went, "It will. It'll be grand. It's fine. Of course it'll fit in." It wouldn't. So I was like, "Right, it's cool. We'll put it into the bar instead." So now it's like on the edge of our little like home bar in a bigger shed. And that's where he lives, and that's where the beer lives. So, you know, happy marriage of beer and barbecue all together, which is ideal for me.
The two Bs.
Happy days.
Okay, it's been great having you on. One thing we always ask people before we end is there anything that you want to talk about or discuss or put out there as well?
Sorry, actually, Kate, just before you do that, do you have an ingredient to add onto the wheel?
Yes, of course.
Before we part.
Anything to add on to the wheel?
Yeah, the wheel of ingredients. Is there anything that you want?
Wheel of ingredients.
Can be as plain or as obscure as you want.
Can I add blue cheese?
Yes, that was one of my favorite things to do is steak with blue cheese. I saw you did a post about it.
Yes,
and
I love it.
Yeah, do you have a specific blue cheese you like to go to, or?
I do. I actually have a blue cheese I go to all the time. It's called Cashel Blue. It's from a farmhouse dairy cheesemakers down the country there, and in Tipperary, and it's just the most gorgeous, creamy, delicious, salty, tangy blue cheese. It's delicious.
Is it more of a soft blue or a?
It's like a soft blue. Yeah. Do you know it's kind of crumbly soft? It's crumbly until it warms up, and then it goes kind of melty and soft. So yeah, bit of both. It's delicious.
Nice.
Yeah, good for cooking with, but it kind of retains its shape as well. So yeah, all
I
good.
love blue cheese. That's a very good shout. I love blue cheese.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm
Sorry,
particularly
Dan.
a fan of Shropshire Blue as well. Shropshire
I
Blue
love
is
a bit of Shropshire Blue.
great blue cheese.
Yeah, it's amazing cheeses.
But yeah, we always like to ask, is there anything that you want to talk about or comment on? It doesn't have to be a focal point for us to have a chat about. It can be a statement, or it can be go see this or go do that. But we always like to ask, is there something that you think we should be discussing?
Basically, I think just try to, like, I think for me, it's about representing girls and women in barbecue and getting them out there and taking the fear away from the kind of male dominated industry. And it's seen as such a male kind of hobby. Like every Father's Day or whatever, it's like Christmas, it's like you see a man with like the barbecue tools and, you know, man fire, blah blah blah, and it's all this huge message driven home. And on Mother's Day, it's all like, oh, flowers and chocolates, but give me some charcoal, for God's sake. It's like, save the flowers and the roses and the chocolate, give me cheese and charcoal and beer. And, you know, I just want more women like me to get out there and actually have fun with fire and smoke and just realize how good it is, and how, like, it doesn't have to be a complicated like weekend thing that takes hours and hours and hours. It could be as much as a quick cook, you know, of a weeknight. I mean, I'm out there kind of probably 4 nights a week, family meals. Like, it doesn't have to be like a long, slow 12-hour smoke, you know, brisket or pork or whatever. It can be like an over-the-top bolognese that the next night is turned into a chili, turned into a, you know, dirty fries the next night. That's 3 nights covered. So, you know, cooking over fire doesn't have to be like laborious and long. It can just be like quick, tasty cooks and just chill time as well. So yeah, that's the message really. Get out there and do it and bite the bullet. Buy a little Weber or anything and just cook on it and find your feet with it. Just go for it. That's my message.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? That it is still very male dominated.
Yeah.
The kind of and like, you know, like your account and what you do, and we've interviewed a few other girls that grill, hashtag girls that grill, you know, and coincidentally, you're the first of a string of girls who grill that we're about to interview over the next few weeks.
Excellent.
Because I think also we're trying to make sure that we're helping represent that actually there's a lot of diversity within barbecue.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's important that it shouldn't just be seen as
definitely.
men,
But that was
beer,
actually
and fire.
one thing that slightly annoyed me about my little section, that the way it was worded at the big grill was girls can barbecue too, but it should have been like everyone can barbecue. You know, it's not a male or a female thing. It's an everybody thing, you know. And I think it's just been that perception, you know. And so it's kind of try and break that perception of, it's going to be hard. It's not going to happen, but half the people there, you know, were kind of all the guys I met from Texas were all this kind of, you know, stereotypical, you know, cardboard cutout of the next guy from Texas. Yeah. Well, it's terrible to say, but
no, it's not. I really agree with you. I think, as I don't know if it's like being a dad of a daughter as well fires you up in this way, but I've got an 8-year-old daughter, and I'm not being funny. If you're going on Instagram and you're looking around, right, you'll see loads of male Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
But I would put money on, if you're going through and scrolling and looking, the ones that catch your eye and you won't even realize it, well, you'll find out they're actually female grillers and they kick fucking ass, and people need to stop thinking it has to be one way or the other. And some of the most inspiring cooks I think we've had on here, and definitely the best looking Instagram accounts. You've got yourself, you have Cara from Scale and Taylor, you have Kirsty loves to cook.
Amazing.
We were lucky enough to interview Tina from the Barbecue Showdown, Genevieve Taylor. All these people are fantastic grillers.
They really, and they are the guys I learned from. They're like my inspiration. You know, these are the girls I kind of followed and like looked at their page and was like absolutely mind blown. Like, this is fucking incredible, like what they're doing. And I was, you know, to watch like Genevieve up on the stage, like a couple of weeks ago, like in person. I was like, do you know, I was nearly kind of like starstruck, like seeing her in person, doing what she does, like, and what she loves, and the passion behind everything she does. Absolutely incredible. Like, but like, there's me on my little stage, and I had this little girl that came to watch every single demo that I did. She was there for like the entire weekend with her dad, and she was called Eleanor. I got to know her in the end. She was just stood at the front, like just like watching what I was doing. And like, I know her dad on Instagram. I was like lucky enough to meet him there at the Big Grill, and I met him in person for the first time. And he messaged me after the Big Grill and said she's like been pretending to be you on stage and like cooking up.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Like, in her little, you know, pretend barbecues and stuff, and doing little demonstrations and doing little butchery things. And like, I was like, oh my God, like, that is what it's all about. That inspiring like kids and the next generation, and just anyone that wants to learn. Like, and if it starts that young at like 4, so be it. Like, amazing. My job here is done. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say, surely that is an indication that there's no imposter syndrome there. If you've inspired,
yeah, amazing.
That's confirmation
kind
there.
of humbled by it all. It was fabulous. Yeah, loved it.
So on that point, and promoting, and again, it's not, and girls can grill too. Like you said, it's an everyone sport.
Everyone, yeah.
But please shout out, tell everyone where they can find you. What's your social platforms, so that people can go follow you after this episode. Give yourself a plug.
Yeah, I'm too old for TikTok, so you can stop all that nonsense. I don't do dancing and barbecue. So it's Kate O'Driscoll, Food Beers Life, but I'm actually in the process of changing it to Food Fire Life, so I'm not sure which one I'll be on. Waiting for it to get approved. But yeah, Kate O'Driscoll, Food Beers Life, or Food Fire Life. You'll find me on Instagram there, and be able to follow my everyday cooking adventures, and possibly some longer weekend cooks.
Great. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thanks now.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast. It's been a while since we've had some guests, and it was great to chat to Kate. Please go check out her Instagram profile. Please do comment if there's anything you want us to talk about on the podcast. We'd really love to hear it. Do reach out across our socials. Otherwise, until next time, keep on grilling. Today's episode is brought to you by AOS Kitchens, the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.